Hello students, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to give you 7 latest defense updates in part 2. First, India fast catching up in Aero-engine tech, according to Australian think tank. The Australian Strategic Policy Institute ASPI in its critical tech tracker found that India is fast catching up in the development of advanced aircraft engines, including hypersonic, future intelligence capability, artificial intelligence, and drones. India has been ranked third in advanced aircraft engines, including the hypersonic subcategory, and fourth in the drones. Swarming and collaborative robots category, India's progress in R&D has been largely attributed to public institutions such as IITs and NITS, as well as their collaboration with international organizations and countries. Next, India's state-owned firm sold 20 gun barrels to Myanmar. An Indian state-owned firm's manufacturer has shipped artillery barrels to military-ruled Myanmar, an activist group said Wednesday, warning they could be used by the junta in its crackdown on dissent. Myanmar has been in turmoil since the generals toppled Aung San Suu Kyi civilian government 2 years ago, ending a brief democratic experiment and sparking mass protest. The army has used artillery barrages as well as airstrikes against opposition groups as it struggles to crush resistance, according to the right organizations, sparking international calls to stop supplying weapons to the junta. Next, the key defense projects were discussed by Rajnath and Israeli Defense Minister. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh on Friday spoke to his Israeli counterpart Major General Yoav Gallant and discussed key projects relating to co-development of military hardware. It was Singh's first conversation with Gallant after he became Israeli Defense Minister around 2 months back. It is said he acknowledged the cooperation of Israeli industries in nurturing a world-class defense manufacturing ecosystem in India and invited them to deepen investment in joint ventures with Indian companies to identify areas for collaboration, particularly in niche technologies. Next, Myanmar junta boss visits Indian transport project. Myanmar junta boss Min Aung Hlaing this week called India a good neighbor and friend as he visited the bilateral Kaladan transport project in Myanmar and demanded its rapid completion. The Kaladan multimodal transport project connects Kolkata with Sitwe in Rakhine State by sea in Myanmar. The project will link the Sitwe seaport to Peletwa in Chin State via the Kaladan River and then from Peletwa by road to Mizoram State in the northeast area. Next, designed for 5 years. This is the biggest achievement, I think. ISRO launched satellite completes decade and still continues to provide service. Wow. A satellite for Oceanographic studies launched by ISRO with an intended mission life of 5 years has completed a decade of service and is continuing to do its job. Saral satellite with Argos and Altica is an Indo-French cooperative mission. ISRO has provided the small satellite bus platform to which French National Space Agency CNES payload composed of Argos 3 and Altica instruments, altimeter, radiometer, Doris, LRA are integrated. Next, No religious minority can live freely in Pakistan. India at UN. India on Friday slammed Pakistan on the issue of religious freedom of minorities at the United Nations Human Rights Council. Using its right to reply, India's representative Seema Pujani slammed her Pakistani counterpart Hina Rabbani Khar, saying no religious minority can freely live or practice its religion in Pakistan today. The Ahmadiyya community continues to be persecuted by the state for simply practicing their faith. Next, Indian Army steps up patrolling near LAC post Galwan clash in 2020. Following the clash with the Chinese troops in June 2020, Indian Army formations deployed near the Galwan Valley along the line of actual control in Ladakh have undertaken a range of activities such as surveying border areas to stop a possible Chinese aggression, an officer of the Indian Army said. ANI accessed a video showing Indian Army soldiers posted near the Galwan Valley patrolling forward areas along the LAC on horses and ponies. The army also released pictures of the Jawans also playing cricket in the extreme cold at a high altitude locations in Galwan. Thank you.